better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling this war, never getting bored, loves the blood and gore. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you'll be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
Got a damn good show.
Oh, please.
Oh, Hodge twins.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, old Hodge Spoon or Spoon Twin or.
Everybody, welcome into Real Talk with Spoon and Pudding. Pudding
73, whatever.
73. That's what we'll go with.
I just put on the title is we're probably bi-weekly at this point.
We'll get back in sync.
Yeah,
the primary purpose of this podcast is to educate and share our thoughts and opinions. When we have proven evidence on a topic, it will be brought forth. This podcast does not constitute advice or services to anyone. Spoon and Pudding do not accept any responsibility or liability for anyone. Excuse me. For anyone, our guests, or anyone's comments or actions based on material we talk about on this podcast. This podcast is private, non-commercial. Everyone should ascertain that the information we provide is correct and verified at all times. There's editing or reproduction of this podcast without prior written permission from Spoon and Pudding. You can reach us at Real Talk with Spoon and Pudding at gmail.com. All right, what's going on, Pudding?
Oh, well, whatever. Another day.
I don't know what I want to. I'm gonna dive into the local stuff, but I don't want to start with because there's a few good things.
Oh well, I don't know. I'm not out of the local. I don't care. Ain't got me nowhere.
I know you don't care, but you got opinion on it. When I talk about
I can have an opinion on a lot of things, but
let's start with this. Did you know they had some kind of dinner this past Wednesday, and the mayor of Portland, in some kind of sequence, won Mayor of the Year.
He's the only mayor they've had this year. How do you? That's like in a competition.
so I'm wondering.
Here's your first place trophy for you.
Was he the only one
second place? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, no, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Or is it kind of like
everybody gets a trophy now? So you're backup mayor of the year because you at least ran against him.
So, or was it like the water competition? They tried
to who's F Troop? The right-in Thomas Dillard.
Or is it kind of like the water competition? Remember when they said water had Portland had the best water, but it was only between like Portland and one part of Lebanon, and what's the one down there where you go swimming between Gallatin and Lebanon?
Really?
No, the little
God,
Lagardo Water District. Yeah.
So out of those three, Portland was best out of three. No.
Well, it was like 4 or 5 of them, but it was just small ones. They said Portland had the best water out of them. Like,
Portland had the best water. Portland had the best water on 109 to Lebanon. That's a wide. That's like can you shoot a gun and hit the broadside of a barn? I reckon you can.
So our Mayor Callis of Portland won some kind of award where he was Mayor of the Year. Was he the only one involved in that? I don't know. Was it like the water thing, or was it like 2 or 3 mayors of little small communities? I don't know that either. I just found it comical where they said he won Mayor of the Year. I said, like, I hate to see who.
I'd hate to be where his competition is. So, that's my opinion. But anyway,
well, the second thing on level, did you know that Circle K has bought out MAPCO or in the process of buying out MAPCO?
No, I did not. Maybe that's why I'm not getting my MAPCO Thursday and Sunday fuel discounts.
I'm still getting mine.
I didn't get mine. I looked for it the other day, but I didn't get it because I was thinking about going to town today. But Speedway is so much cheaper.
It is.
I don't. Why is it's funny at this point. It's almost worth it. You will save money by filling up at Speedway.
Well, I drove all the way out there the other day.
It was $2.92 the other day at Speedway with when you enter your phone number for your rewards. So it was $2.92 a gallon.
$3.26 at
$3.24. Well, this was Saturday when I was looking.
Okay.
But it was $3.24 at Mapco. Yeah. So you get your 3 cents, you get $3.21. So it's almost 30 cents a gallon. Yeah. At that point, but I would encourage Portland people drive on up to Kentucky, or is it still tax free? Are we still in the tax free food?
I have no idea.
I don't know. They were doing a tax holiday where you didn't have to pay sales tax on food, which at that point, fine. Save your gas. Maybe it's not worth it. But when tax free on food, Portlanders drive on up to Kentucky and get your food tax free.
But if you're getting,
already told me about it. Okay?
What?
That's still Portland.
I understand that's still damn Portland. I didn't say it wasn't, even though it shouldn't be. It's technically in another damn county. Well, wait a minute.
And I posted it.
Gosh, okay, I got it. All Portland wants to tell you and hit Portland that that's not Kentucky.
Speedway started part of Portland. When you cross over 31, then you go into different county.
Yes, well, whatever. So 5-star and BP is not.
But 5-star, they stay right there with Speedway, so you can go in a different county and still get it cheaper.
You should do that on purpose, though. You know that you should always label something wrong so that you get more corrections if you want that dopamine hit from the Facebookers.
I don't care about that.
I could care less about dopamine hits and Facebookers. Anyway, go ahead.
Kitty's under the table on my lap.
It's just worth it to, you get a free gallon of petrol if you pump 10.
Well, I usually when I get it, I'm right there close to 20 gallons when I stop to get fuel.
That's two gallons. So you're saving.
So 30 cents a gallon cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. Even for me to drive from my house out there to fill up, it's worth it.
Like there ain't a lot of good things. I mean, and that's all I've said. And and the reason I can't talk to the mayor of Portland. He's got that we're world class, and I'm sitting here thinking world class what? Nothing spirit.
He's mayor of the year. He's not the problem. You're the problem.
Yeah, I'm the problem. No. Mayor of the year, voted for, promoted by, and sponsored by Mayor of Portland. It's like written, directed, and acted in by the Mayor of Portland.
Let's see what else. There's a big one. I'm gonna save the big one for last. So let's see what else I missed.
Okay.
That development on TGT Road where it's been going on 3 or 4 years now. They wanted, thankfully the council voted no. Back and forth, and it's had different owners, and they started out where they were going to put in like somewhere around 80 homes, and the homes are going to be like 2,600 square foot or bigger. And now it has a new owner of contractors, and they want to build an additional 40 homes, 120 something homes at like 1,200 and something square feet, 1,300 square feet. And they, of course they done a TGT Road's a small, narrow road. They said they done the traffic study, and they come back and said it wouldn't have any effect on that. And I liked Alderman McDowell's challenge to him, like, have you ever been on TGT Road? 120 something houses times 2 cars, 250 more cars running in and out of there every morning, every afternoon. You think that's not going to have effect with traffic when you can't get out TGT Road on the 109 hardly now?
The problem isn't only persistent here. The problem's persistent in anywhere in a 50-mile radius of Nashville.
Yeah, it's on the state, even nationally.
Nashville has grown so much in the past 3 years. The infrastructure cannot support what's happened, and it's not slowing down. Everybody's piling in here for some reason. And they're going to pile in here, and they're going to make this another shithole like LA or Detroit or something.
If it keeps going on its pace, what you say in the next 20 to 30 years?
If it keeps going on its pace in the next 10 years, I may have to sell and move further out in the country. I mean, I don't know.
Well, how do you think it's going to be before Gallatin and Hendersonville? It's just a suburb of Nashville.
Not long. Well, Hendersonville already is. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I mean, there yet, but it's pretty close.
I got freaked out. I had her look on Google yesterday. We were driving through Gallatin, and right downtown Gallatin near the Crystals and everything, they had the electronic billboard up, and it said cookout. And I'm like, did Gallatin get a cookout and I didn't know about it? And I had her look it up. I guess they were advertising, but that's a long ways off for advertising for Rivergate area for a cookout. But hey, I was like, oh my God, did Gallatin finally get a cookout? Because the people in Portland could probably get a cookout if they knew how to, make good negotiations. But no, we get a White House or a Waffle House. Sorry.
Well, White House.
White House. We get a White House.
We
get the White House water anyway. So I'm sorry.
We get the White House. We're going to get the White House for the mayor of the year to put him in.
Well, White House. Oh no, mayor. White House mayor lost to our mayor because our mayor is so much greater. Hey, White House, can we buy some water? We ain't got no water.
Well, Gallatin, they got so many developments going on. They may be getting a cookout down the line. Who knows? Because
they'll get one before we. They'll get anything good before we get it. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. Well, they have more infrastructure, bigger,
and
bigger
all our shows
have more population.
All our shows are records of our suggestions to the city, but they don't listen. They would love it if we just quit. Honestly, they can't stand us. But oh well, I don't care. You're
not gonna run us off.
Oh, well, you'll run us off, Mr. Spoon, Mr. Bi-weekly.
Hey, it's not my fault. We had conflicting schedules.
Conflicting schedules. I'm off every Sunday morning, man.
Yeah, but I'm tired when I have to work.
Uh-huh.
What if I said
you could always act like the other 13 employees on your shift and not work? I mean, shit.
13? We ain't got 13 employees. What's wrong with you?
I thought you were driver 14 on that shift. You could just act like the other 13 and just say, I don't know, I got to go do a regen and take a nap at like 3 a.m. so you're wide awake at 5:36 when you get home, whatever.
No, if you count my lead, we have 12.
Okay, well then act like the other 11. Let me get the numbers correct. Your lead sleeps in the fucking office and plays on Facebook all night. And
what if I say
makes up fictitious moves that they can bill against Hinkle? So whatever.
What if I say we're going to do it every Tuesday morning?
Huh?
What if I say we're going to do the show every Tuesday?
Well, my schedule just recently changed, but I still got Sunday every Sunday. Tuesday afternoon might be every Tuesday afternoon. That might be fine, but every other week, your Tuesday will be fuckered. So every other week, you work, but see, that's the thing.
I think we do it every Monday morning. Every Monday morning.
Well, I'll do it from the road Monday sometime. I'm not on call Sundays no more, so I'm going out Sunday now. So I used to be on call. No, I know where I'm going. I already know where I'm going.
Every Sunday where you're going.
No, I won't know. I won't know till they call me. But I'll be back on Tuesday most likely. So it'll be Tuesday afternoon. So if you want to do it every Tuesday afternoon, which means that Tuesday you work, I can call and wake you up at 12, 1. I'll do it then. Be careful what you wish for.
You can call. I don't know that I'm going to wake up. You can call.
All right, then I'll just get on here and blast you. Damn Spoon. He done bent his ass. And remember, there is no spoon. The Matrix.
Well, here's the big one.
Don't try to bend the spoon. That's ridiculous. Remember, there is no spoon.
Here's the big one. You remember the building that the city could have sold, the old Farmers Bank that they pretty much just gave to the chamber?
The chamber? Oh,
well, it's come back that they have infrastructure issues. It's got problem with the roof and problem with trusses and problem with the infrastructure.
You don't reckon that's why farmers wanted to be benefactors to the city of Portland and say, "Here you go, we'll give you this building."
So now those things have to be repaired, and guess who has to eat the costs of those repairs? The taxpayers.
Not me. I don't live in the city limits. That's your problem.
Yep. But the taxpayers are going to have to eat those costs.
Well, why? Because they only rented it for $1 or made a shitty lease. It was to the
so that the chamber can get use out of it. Instead of
the communist, the chamber of communism. Is that what it is?
Instead of selling it and making a profit to put back in the city, the load on the taxpayers. Guess what? They've created more of a burden load for the taxpayers. So all of you that think it was a good idea to give
Well,
donate,
the people who weren't responsible, the people who go in there and speak on matters, even though they don't live inside the city limits, like was it Jaska, I believe, was talking about what the will of Farmers Bank was. I believe I watched her stand up there and say what the will of Farmers Bank was. You know, because she knows so much about the will of Farmers Bank when she lives out in the county, right? And that kind of where that.
Does she? Yeah,
I think she lives.
Unless
she lives right next to that lady that got the county line or the city line moved. You know, your most improved council member.
She owns a business in the city, so she has a right to speak on things. So I don't.
My mail, unfortunately, my mail says Portland. I wish my mail said Cottontown or New Deal.
I mean, I don't know if she lives city limits or not. That's irrelevant. She owns a business in the city. Her parents.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if those council members and the mayor had to answer to everybody whose mail said Portland, whether we were inside of the limits or not? They should answer to the people whose mail says Portland. But
so she does have a right to go speak. You don't. I mean, what she says.
Yeah, but she knew so much about the internal knowledge of Farmers Bank, who's given that business to the Chamber of Communism. Oh, wait a minute, Chamber of Commerce. I'm misspeaking. Okay, maybe on purpose.
well, the thing I wanted to hit on is look. This is not me saying anything bad about this. I know people misinterpret that like, well, he's so anti the chamber. No, that's not the case. If we would have gave that building to Mike Hall, he's one of the aldermen, or Jody McDowell, vice mayor, for pretty much nothing, and we have to maintain the upkeep of that building. Now we have to make all these repairs that the taxpayers have to eat. I'm opposed to that also, right? If we're going to let the chamber,
if Mike Callis wanted to operate a church out of the damn thing, that's violation of separation. Well, again, I will refer to word correct separation of church and state. It's Jefferson's letter to the Danbury Baptist.
I mean, it's the same. Whoever wants to use that building, if we're going to let them pretty much virtually use it with very little cost to them, any repairs or upkeep, they should have to do it. I'm sorry.
Well, I wonder what Hands of Hope would have. What would Hands of Hope have wanted to do with it?
Or it's nothing against the chamber. I mean, the same thing. You got Portland Pay It Forward and Hands of Hope. I mean,
yeah, but they're charitable organizations. I mean, the Chamber of Commerce is what? What do they do?
Well, they're supposed to bring in commerce,
bring in
business, bring in sponsors and donations, all that sort of thing. Now, I mean, obviously, I don't know about that side to be ignorant to speak on it. They won some kind of award. I know Miss Daughtry won some kind of award for her work there. So obviously, they're doing some things right. I'm not saying that.
Who posted the award? That's the question.
I don't know that either. But my point is, it's not about them. It's about the city owning real estate. And that's not the only property we have. And you getting no bid from it, no money relief when you could sell it, or you could use it for other things to make a profit. You're donating this pretty much. And people say, well, they got if you're paying $1 a month, $100 a month, $1 a year, you're not getting anything for it. And then you're having to eat the cost of the maintaining. And now you're going to have to eat the cost of the repairs. And that all falls back on the taxpayers. Look, I was running for mayor last year. I told you all the stuff was going to happen. And I know some of the people on the board now and was there, well, you want to label me and you as these kooks, and all we do is lie. I told you your water and sewer is going up. Guess what? It's went up. It's going to go up for the next several years. I told you your land tax, property tax is going to go up. They've already voted for that. All right. Now they're going to come back to you. They're going to have to raise
the budget's going to get even further in red ink because, well, they got to fix the building for the chamber because they didn't want to make the chamber responsible for it because, well, I mean,
look,
the chamber only allows approved businesses of the smoke-filled arena.
I don't know how in depth those repairs are going to have to be, but it doesn't matter if it's 10,000 or 100,000. It shouldn't come to the cost of the taxpayers, right? If you can't,
the chamber can't. Well, if the chamber can't do it, then they broke their lease. Release it to somebody who can.
If
Release it to Cookout. So
in that lease, if any, I think it was like $7,500 or $10,000?
Could you imagine if Cookout was to knock that building down and use that little corner, build something like in Hendersonville, Rivergate?
Well, they don't want that. Those.
No, they don't want a place where people can go at 11 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock at night and sit down and hang out at a good restaurant where they can actually afford to eat.
No, what I'm saying is they don't want on that corner. They want to try to preserve
what? An old shitty bank that's falling apart?
Well, the square block there, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, that was well, you talked on the phone the other night to that guy I work with that used to live up here. You heard what who was that he was calling out from back in the day, saying they were trying to block Walmart out of here?
Hobby.
I don't know who Hobby is, but you heard what his opinion of it was. And but he said, what he was saying, because he was paying attention before you were, I'm sure. Oh, because he's older than both of us. But you heard him when he lived up here. Yeah, he lived up here in 92 to 2000. So he was paying attention, and he told that guy, "You're a crook." He said, because Walmart was going to come in here, and Walmart was going to bring 6 or 7 restaurants in here and change this town. And they said, well, we want to be the old cobbler on the square town. We don't want progress. And the thing is, you're an idiot, because I see so many little towns in Kentucky, Elkton, Franklin. There's that little town over there by Patty's, the old fashioned settlement town. Those towns are nice and they've got the cobbler atmosphere, but they also don't have the chamber of communism, stranglehold on the stupid city square.
Or boys club that nobody's a part of.
The square does not have the best restaurant. I know somebody who this spoon works. Oh, wait a minute. Shit.
No, the square does have the best restaurant in town if you want to sit down and eat. It absolutely does.
Oh, come on. I'm sure that, a rich man north of Richmond left there saying, man, why the hell did I stop in here? He was like, oh, God, who recommended that shit?
Hey, I think for free, so he was probably okay with
it. He ate for free? Well, he'd probably eat for free in a lot of places.
I think he did. I think somebody bought his meal, so he was probably okay with it.
I just can't believe how he stopped there on the square. But you can, okay, would you like, here, yeah, come on over here. I'll give you I'm going to give it to her. She wants to talk.
Well, she wants to talk from the background.
Come on.
Hey, let's put her wives on. Come on, you got to take over for me. Come here.
Uh-huh. Shit.
She pretty much gave me the middle finger without sticking it up.
Well, we could put Miss Spoon and little and Hobbit pudding on.
Latimer said, "Is the golf course making any money?" I don't know. They spent a whole lot of money, so I hope they're making money.
Who knows?
Every time I hear them, it seems like they're making money, or they're moving towards making money. Of course, you got to spend money to make money. What are you doing? Open that door so I can see.
Come on, Hobbit pudding.
Okay, good job.
I'm trying to figure out like.
I got my 7-year-old in there volunteering to clean the room. That don't happen much.
Yeah. You gonna take over for me? She says she typed her comment in. I don't know. I'm not watching the comments on Facebook.
Probably ate at a food truck afterwards. Talk about Oliver Anthony.
He probably went in the bathroom to be nice and threw it up the toilet.
I do know me.
The best tacos in town are next to Old Best Donuts at the taco truck. Sorry. Those are the best tacos in town. Even though we got 2. Hey, she ate it. What was the restaurant? The one over there by Cass Saver. She ate at the Mexican restaurant by Cass Saver and went home. And she said she's never going back there again.
See, fajitas.
Is it Senior Fajitas? Next to the. No, that one didn't. No, the Chinese restaurant went out in Portland.
You talking about in the strip mall or the food truck?
Next to. The one right there by the liquor store in
Yeah,
by Planet Fitness, and
that's Senior Fajitas.
yeah, she thought that was the worst. I've ate there one time and I never went back. And then about a year and a half ago, Little Puddin in there or Miss Puddin she wanted to eat there, and so we ate there. And then she'd come home and she's sitting on the toilet all night. Oh, I'll never eat there again. I'm like, I told you it wasn't that good.
Well, I do know me and Bob used to go to have breakfast up there on the square every morning at the top of the ridge, which the food's good, but he always would get the gravy, how they made it. I'm like, because they put all the sausage grease and bacon grease and stuff in their bacon, which is good, but he wouldn't get halfway through his food. He'd have to use the facilities. And after about a half dozen times, I said, dude, if you stop eating that gravy, you wouldn't have that problem. So then he's like, we go back. I ain't getting that gravy. He had no issues.
Well, that wasn't my point. Was Miss Spoon making the gravy, the toothpaste gravy that you like so much?
No. I like it sticking to the ribs.
Yeah. You like to throw it like a clump of biscuit dough at the wall.
Right. When you stick your spoon in the bowl, you can pick the whole bowl up.
Yeah, there you go. I got it. Yeah, that's why you're the big spoon. But I don't know, man.
Not fast enough, Hobbit.
Not fast, Hobbit. The Hobbits it's Miss Puddin. You got Miss Spoon and Miss Puddin.
Miss Spoon and Miss Puddin.
Mm-hmm. We should let them do a show and make fun of us one time.
Yeah, I'm all good for that.
Come on, Miss Puddin, get in here. I'll let you.
So Miss Spoon, we talked about that earlier. She said, "Really, Circle K buying Mapco? Portland's not going to look the same. Mapco's been there since I was born." I'm like, well, things change.
No. Oh boy.
Maybe they'll make it better.
No, can't never tell. I hate Circle K. I never really liked them. I grew up next to them. They were.
I like QT.
I care less about. My favorite. My favorite of all the gas stations was like Sheetz
Or 7-Eleven.
Sheetz. But that 7-Eleven, the one down there that just opened next to Publix. Yeah. She don't like the gas station food, but Laredo Taco I think is amazing.
They got Laredo Taco in there?
Laredo Taco in the 7-Eleven by the new Publix in Gallatin.
Oh, we have to go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah. 2 for $6 beef or chicken fajita tacos.
You do not use the large cup for the big gulp.
Yeah. Go down here. Try it.
What?
Miss Puddin, here.
I'm looking for my spray.
You're looking for what?
My
Oh my God.
spray.
You do not use the big gulp cup
It's Miss Chewy
for the freeze.
Shit. Okay. But no, I don't know. The world news sucks. I don't even care.
That's how it works.
The only thing I'll say on the world news front is those of y'all who missed the pistol brace ruling that come down last week, that judge implied something that I've watched a couple 2 or 3 different people read the same thing that judge in that pistol brace case said. And I think pistols in the Second Amendment are about to look a lot different. Because what he said was, here, you go ahead with something. I'm gonna look it up. I gotta find this.
Well, while you're looking for that, the Second Amendment is what it is. The Constitution is absolute. So when you get on these, especially like the ATF and what is it, NRA, trying to write laws and make laws on guns. First of all, that's not how it works. They don't have the authority or the people's vote for them to do that. It's supposed to pass through Congress, but everything that's voted on and passed is supposed to be constitutional. Now, we all know that we have a lot of laws and stuff that are unconstitutional, which should be vacated immediately. And until we get this stranglehold of the two-party them out of there, it's not going to happen. They're going to continue to take away our liberties and our freedoms and get more control. But, just like I asked you about that, those laws and stuff that Archie feller, we talked to him on this podcast about. Of course, they were shot down in Tennessee.
Well,
why?
Yeah. Well, the pistol brace case is Mock v. Garland. I'll put that in and I'll let you talk for a minute. I'm trying to find what the judge, I think it was Reed O'Connor, wrote. Basically, what he said was SBRs, I think, or short-barreled rifles are about to be a thing of the past. Because what he said is, because you have a pistol in common use, regardless what you attach to the rearward position, be it a brace or stock, does not change what it is. That's a nasty saying in legal terms, because everything he said in that case, if the ATF challenges this, and they will, because there is a nationwide injunction against the ATF for all. If you're a Firearms Policy Coalition member, I don't know, you might be too late becoming a member now to have the injunction apply to you. I joined just because. I mean, hey, they're doing good things. So I joined, but I am covered by the injunction because the judge flat out said yes. But what he said was, and implied, has to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has to hear it and say, okay, what he said, was it true? What he said is true. If you have a Glock pistol or an AR pistol, what he's saying is, whether you put a stock or a brace on the back of that pistol doesn't change it.
Still a pistol.
It's still a pistol. Whether you put whatever dingus on the back of it doesn't matter.
Wouldn't that be common sense?
That is common sense.
I drive a Nissan.
Yeah,
I drive a Nissan. If I go get a Jaguar sticker and put it on the hood, does it change it to a Jaguar?
No,
it's still a Nissan. It's still a Titan.
But that's not the way the ATF and the government have been looking at it. And there are people probably sitting in jail right now for attaching shit to a pistol.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's
unconstitutionally, they're sitting in jail because of our dirty, corrupt government that allows these organizations like the ATF and the NRA to try to sway them to pass laws that are unconstitutional.
It was crazy because I always watch Jared from Guns and Gadgets, and he backed it up and he said, "Did y'all people hear that? Let me back that up for y'all." Because what that guy's saying is it doesn't matter. What he said was, hey, that doesn't change it, which is common sense. Like you said, it's still a Nissan. I'm going to go put a Ferrari sticker on the front of our Ford. Is it going to make it a fucking Ferrari? No.
Yeah. If somebody shows up to buy it, how much for that Ferrari F-150 you got out there?
Well, I don't know. It's a special one of, but that's still, it's huge. But what I'm saying to y'all is the pistol brace rule is it might undo, because people don't know the history of the short barreled rifle rule. When the NFA was coming around in the early mid 1930s, they were using the Chicago stuff, and they were using all the St. Valentine's murders in Chicago. They were going after Capone. They were talking about Bonnie and Clyde and all these people. And before then, you walk in a hardware store, you wanted a fully automatic Tommy gun. If you had the cash, he handed you the gun out the door. You walked. You didn't do no paperwork. You just walked out the door with it. It was the way the Second Amendment was intended. So the pistol brace thing is, so one of the congressmen said, because they were trying to get rid of pistols, is what they were trying to do. They were trying to put pistols on the NFA. And while they were discussing this, putting pistols on the National Firearms Act and adding a $200 tax stamp to a pistol, somebody said, well, what if somebody just buys a rifle or a shotgun and cuts it down into a pistol? And they said, and that's where short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns came from, SBRs or SBSs. So that got added into the language of the National Firearms Act. And then they realized if they passed it and they outlawed handguns, they were going to lose. So they took handguns off of it altogether, but they left the short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns in there. Just like silencers, which are basically just mufflers for the end of your gun. And it's not John Wick silent where you're walking down a hallway at a mall shooting at each other and the people next to you don't know. That's just Hollywood garbage. But there's so much about the NFA that needs to be, and I think the NFA is starting to gasp its last breath because I think it's about to die. But they still going to have to challenge this Mock v. Garland that's going to go to Supreme Court. Because as of right now, Mock v. Garland covers all Firearms Policy Coalition members. It is a nationwide injunction. And the judge seems to think, well, okay, so you got a pistol brace. That's you trying to comply. But if you want to put a stock on it, the hell with you, government. It's not changing it from a Nissan to a Porsche. Or whatever sticker you decide to lay across the back of it. But other than that, that's about all I had on the national front this week.
Well, the last thing I'm gonna say on the local front is, if you watch meetings, you need to watch them and keep up with what's going on. Not everybody can be there at the meetings. I'd like to be there at every meeting, but with my schedule, I can't. So, but you can watch them and keep up to date with everything. And this edition,
did you watch the last one?
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Oh, sir. Well, no. Where did you say Circle K and Mapco? Oh, you're talking about the chamber building.
No, both of them, because the Vice Mayor McDowell's over the alcohol board, so they had to vote on Circle K being able to transfer the alcohol from Mapco name to Circle K name because Circle K is going to buy Mapco. So all that happened at the last meeting. But you had Alderwoman Thompson and Alderman Mike Hall going back and forth, and they'd be a little ill at each other. So it's worth the watch just to listen to them go back and forth, and get the knowledge of what's going on in the city. So
I don't care about none of them.
Well, you don't, but the people.
Yeah, my voice don't matter up there. I don't. That's why I try not to shop up there if I can help it.
My voice don't matter,
Your voice matters. You're inside of their damn jurisdiction.
They don't care about me, people,
But you're inside their jurisdiction, and a vote's a vote.
Let me say that. I'm not gonna lot them all together. I guess do take in consideration, but for the most part, they're they're doing their thing. Unless there was, 100 people in there talking on the same show this time, they just keep on keeping on in their arena there.
All right. Well,
but before we get out of here, won't you pub your?
No, I ain't plugging nothing. I ain't got nothing to plug. I don't care about nothing. Hey, it's kind of just whatever.
You don't want to plug your
no.
What? Oh, okay.
No. I'm gonna let it ride. We're gonna just see y'all maybe next week.
Because
I'm off every Sunday. Off every Sunday. Come on, Mr. Spoon. Like I said, at about 3:30 in the morning, you got to do a 2-hour regen. Then take a nap.
So I get me a nap in. So we see.
Yeah, like your coworker Samantha every night or about an hour before lunch, she's got to do a regen.
Yeah.
So she gets 2-hour lunch.
Hour and a half, 2 hours for lunch, so you get a 3 or 3.5 hour lunch.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see you back. If nothing happens, we'll see you back Sunday morning about 6:37.
You sure?
Yeah. I'll have to make it.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll end it here. The what? Let me pause it.
Keep going.
What time? What?
We'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. All right. Yeah. That's how we go.